Remove negativity from your mind and become unstoppable. There's a war, not out there, but inside us. And the enemy wears no face. It doesn't shout or strike. It whispers. And its name is negativity. We weren't born with it. It crept in through wounds unhealed, expectations unmet, and words we never deserved to hear. But if we don't confront it, if we don't purge it, it will govern us from the shadows. You want to be unstoppable? Then learn this truth. You cannot conquer the world until you conquer your own mind. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is where the purge begins. First, stop worshipping the pain. Pain is real, yes. But suffering? Suffering is the story we wrap around the pain, like a crown of thorns we place on our own head, day after day. When we replay the betrayal, when we nurse the insult, when we whisper to ourselves, "I wasn't enough," we aren't remembering. We are poisoning. We must stop romanticizing our hurt. We must stop calling it truth when it's just a wound left open. Let the scar form. Let it remind you, but do not let it define you. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them. And that judgment is yours to rewrite." 2. Kill the inner critic with discipline. Negativity has a voice. You know it well. It tells you you're too weak, too late, too broken, and worst of all, it sounds like you. But it is not you. It's a parasite, living rent-free in the attic of your soul. You do not silence it by screaming over it. You silence it with action, with rigor, with discipline. When you rise early, when you master your habits, when you train your body and starve your vices, you are not just building a better life. You are killing the voice that said you never could. Seneca warned, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." So we train our imagination to become an ally, not an executioner, and we train it daily, like warriors of the mind. 3. Burn the need for external validation. Here's a truth they won't tell you. Most negativity doesn't come from failure. It comes from perception of failure, measured against someone else's eyes. We crave approval. We beg for likes, praise, applause. But each time we do, we hand out a piece of our soul for rent. You want to be unstoppable? Then you must belong to yourself. Remember this: the man who walks his own path will always be misunderstood by those who've never left the herd. Let them whisper, let them judge, let them mock. You weren't made for them. Musonius Rufus taught, "The man who has practiced philosophy as a cure for his own soul becomes strong enough to help others. That is the path. Heal inward, and you'll shine outward." 4. Refuse to let emotion dictate action. Anger, envy, bitterness. These are not signs of strength. They are signs of slavery. Slavery to impulse. Slavery to the world outside of us. And every time we act under their command, we confirm to life that we are not yet free. A true master of self does not react. He responds. There is a silence between the stimulus and the response, a stillness. That is where the powerful live. As the Stoics taught, we do not fear pain, we do not fear insult, and we do not chase praise, because none of those things belong to us. What belongs to us is our reason, our judgment, and our will. Seneca declared, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Negativity, then, is not an enemy to be feared. It is a test, and your calm, your self-control, your refusal to lash out, that is the answer. When you stop being a puppet of your emotions, you become something rarer than power. You become untouchable. And now, as the noise fades and the silence returns, ask yourself, What kind of man walks through fire without screaming? What kind of soul refuses to break, even when the world throws its worst? We already know the answer. It is the one who has trained his mind like a blade, sharpened through pain, through restraint, through discipline. So if this voice spoke to something buried deep in you, a voice you've long ignored, then don't silence it again. Walk away from weakness. Let go of the chaos and become the kind of person who is respected in silence and feared without a single word. Because in the end, those who master themselves rule the world.